Mia dropped her books on the hallway floor as a group of students walked past her, laughing loudly. Oops, did you fall, or did your boring personality finally make you collapse? Ava said, looking down at her with a smile. The students around her laughed. Mia slowly picked up her books without saying anything. She could feel everyone watching her, waiting for her to react, waiting for her to get angry, but she refused to give them the satisfaction. She stood up, held her books close to her chest, and walked away. But behind that calm face was a girl fighting a battle nobody could see. When Mia walked into Westbridge High School for the first time, she thought starting over would be easy. She believed that if she worked hard, treated people kindly, and stayed focused, she would eventually make friends. She was wrong. From the moment she entered the school, people noticed that she was different. She was quiet. She didn't wear expensive clothes. She didn't try to impress anyone. And in a school where popularity seemed to matter more than kindness, that made her an easy target. "Who is she?" one student whispered. "I heard she just transferred here. She looks like she doesn't even know where she is." The whispers followed Mia everywhere. At first, she ignored them. She told herself that people didn't know her yet. Maybe once they got to know her, things would change. But one person made sure that never happened. Ava Carter. Ava was the most popular girl in school. Everyone wanted to sit with her, everyone wanted to be noticed by her, and everyone knew that being on Ava's bad side could make school miserable. She walked through the hallways like she owned them. One morning, Ava saw Mia sitting alone in the cafeteria, quietly eating her lunch while reading a book. She walked over with her friends. "Wow," Ava said. "You actually came here to eat alone?" Mia looked up. "I'm just having lunch." Ava laughed. "That's the point. You're acting like you're too good to talk to people." Mia closed her book. "I'm not acting like that." "Really?" Ava replied. "Because everyone here is trying to make friends, and you're sitting here pretending you're different." Mia looked around. "I'm not pretending anything." Ava leaned closer. "Maybe you should try harder to fit in." Her friends laughed. Mia didn't respond. She picked up her lunch and moved to another table. That small moment became the beginning of something much worse. After that day, Ava made Mia's life at school difficult. Whenever Mia walked into class, someone would whisper about her. Whenever she answered a question, someone would say she was trying to show off. Whenever she stayed quiet, they called her strange. It felt like no matter what she did, it was wrong. One afternoon, Mia was assigned to a group project. She was excited because she thought maybe this was her chance to finally connect with people. But when the teacher announced the groups, Ava immediately spoke. "Can we change groups?" The teacher looked confused. "Why?" Ava glanced at Mia. "I just think some people won't contribute enough." Everyone knew exactly who she meant. Mia looked down. The teacher frowned. "Mia has some of the highest grades in this class. I think she will contribute more than enough." The room became quiet. Ava forced a smile. "Of course, teacher." But the look on her face told Mia everything. Ava didn't like being challenged. Later that day, Mia stayed behind in the classroom to finish her notes. As she packed her bag, she heard a voice. "You okay?" She turned around. A boy named Noah was standing near the door. "I'm fine," Mia replied. Noah smiled. "You always say that." Mia looked away. "Because I am." "No," Noah said softly. "You're just pretending." For the first time that day, someone noticed. Mia didn't know what to say. Noah walked closer. "I've seen what they do. You don't deserve that." Mia looked surprised. "Why do you care?" "Because it's wrong." She looked down. "People like Ava don't change." "Maybe not," Noah said. "But that doesn't mean you should let them change who you are." Those words stayed with Mia. For the first time since arriving at Westbridge High, she felt like maybe she wasn't completely alone. But what Mia didn't know was that things were about to get worse. Because the next day, the school announced something that would change everything. A major competition. A competition that would reveal a side of Mia nobody expected. The announcement spread quickly throughout the school. The annual Westbridge High Creative Challenge was coming up. Every year, Students competed to create something that represented the school's values. The winner would receive recognition from the school board, a scholarship opportunity, and a chance to have their work displayed publicly. To most students, it was just another competition. But to Ava, it was another chance to prove she was the best. "I'm definitely winning this year," Ava told her friends as they walked through the hallway. "You always win," one of them said. Ava smiled proudly. "Exactly. That's why nobody should even bother trying." Mia overheard the conversation but continued walking. She had never been interested in attention. She just loved creating things. Ever since she was young, she had always found comfort in turning simple ideas into something meaningful. When she felt lonely, she created. When she felt ignored, she created. It was the one place where she felt understood. The day the competition was introduced, the teacher asked the class to think about a project that could inspire others. Most students immediately started talking about flashy ideas. But Mia sat quietly, thinking. "What are you making?" Noah asked her after class. Mia closed her notebook quickly. "Nothing." Noah smiled. "You always say nothing when you're working on something." She laughed softly. "I just don't think it matters." "Why wouldn't it matter?" "Because people already decided who I am." Noah looked at her seriously. "Mia, people deciding something about you doesn't make it true." She looked at him. "You really believe that?" "Yes," he replied. "Because I see who you are when nobody else is looking." Those words gave Mia the courage to enter the competition. For the next few weeks, she worked harder than anyone knew. While other students spent their time trying to impress people, Mia focused on creating something meaningful. She wanted her project to show something everyone forgot. That every person has a story. But as Mia became more focused, Ava started noticing something. "She's entering the competition?" Ava asked when she saw Mia submitting her name. Her friends looked surprised. "Maybe she thinks she can actually win." Ava laughed. "That's impossible." One of the girls looked unsure. "But what if she's good?" Ava rolled her eyes. "People like Mia don't suddenly become special." But deep down, something bothered Ava. Because for the first time, Mia wasn't looking afraid. She wasn't trying to hide. She wasn't reacting to the insults. She was becoming confident. And Ava hated that. A few days before the competition, Mia stayed late after school to finish her project. The classroom was quiet. She carefully added the final details, making sure everything was perfect. "This is it," she whispered to herself. For the first time in months, she felt proud. The next morning, Mia arrived early. She walked into the classroom expecting to see her project waiting on her desk. But it wasn't there. She froze. She searched the room. Nothing. Her heart started beating faster. No, 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 no. She checked everywhere. Her project was gone. Students started entering the classroom. "What happened?" Noah asked when he saw her looking worried. "My project disappeared." His expression changed. "What?" "I left it here yesterday." Noah looked around. "Maybe someone moved it." Mia shook her head. "No. I know where I placed it." A few minutes later, the news spread. Mia's project was missing. And somehow, everyone seemed to have an opinion. "I heard she probably didn't finish it. Maybe she wasn't as talented as she wanted people to think." Mia heard the whispers. Each word felt heavier than the last. Then Ava walked into the room. She looked at Mia. "What happened?" Mia didn't answer. Ava looked at the empty desk and smiled slightly. "That's unfortunate." Noah immediately noticed the expression on her face. "Ava, do you know something?" Ava raised her eyebrows. "Why would I know anything?" "Because you seem happy about this." Ava laughed. "You're accusing me?" "No, I'm asking." The classroom became silent. Mia looked between them. She didn't want to fight. She just wanted her work back. The teacher entered and noticed the tension. "What's going on?" Mia hesitated. "My competition project is missing." The teacher looked concerned. "You need to report this immediately." Mia nodded. But inside, she already felt defeated. Maybe everyone was right. Maybe she should have never tried. Maybe people like her were never meant to be noticed. After class, Noah found her sitting alone outside. Mia. She didn't look up. I'm tired, Noah. I know. I tried being nice. I tried ignoring them. I tried proving myself. Her voice shook. But it feels like nothing changes. Noah sat beside her. Don't let one bad moment erase everything you've worked for. Mia wiped her eyes. What if I lose? Noah looked at her. Then you lose while being yourself. But don't let them make you give up before they even see what you can do. Mia took a deep breath. She didn't know how the competition would end. She didn't know who took her project. But one thing was certain. She was done letting other people decide her worth. And the biggest surprise of her life was about to be revealed. The day of the competition finally arrived. The entire school gathered in the main hall. Students walked around carrying their projects, adjusting their presentations, and preparing to impress the judges. Everyone was excited. Everyone except Mia. She stood at the back of the hall, watching other students proudly display their work. A few days ago, she had imagined herself standing there too. But now she felt invisible again. Noah walked over to her. You're really going to let this stop you? Mia looked at him. My project is gone. Noah shook his head. No. Your project is gone. Your talent isn't. She looked away. I don't even have anything to present. Before Noah could respond, the teacher walked toward them. Mia. She turned. Yes. The teacher smiled. Come with me. Mia followed her, confused. They walked to a small room beside the hall. And then Mia stopped. Her project was there. She couldn't believe it. My project. She rushed closer. It's here. The teacher nodded. Someone found it this morning. Mia carefully picked it up. But how did it get here? The teacher looked serious. That's what we are trying to find out. Mia looked at her project. Nothing was damaged. Everything was exactly how she left it. For a moment, she wondered if maybe she had been wrong. Maybe nobody took it. Maybe it was just misplaced. But then Noah noticed something. There's something written here. He pointed to a small note attached to the side. Mia picked it up. The note said, You don't belong here. Her smile disappeared. Someone had done this on purpose. The teacher's expression changed. This is unacceptable. Mia looked down. She felt angry. She felt hurt. But more than anything, she felt tired. For so long, people had tried to convince her that she wasn't enough. But standing there, holding the project she created with her own hands, something inside her changed. She looked at Noah. I'm still presenting. Noah smiled. That's the Mia I know. When it was finally her turn, Mia walked onto the stage. The hall became quiet. Many students expected her to fail. They expected the quiet girl they laughed at to disappear. But instead, Mia stood confidently. The judges looked at her. Please introduce your project. Mia took a deep breath. My project is called The Stories We Don't See. The screen behind her showed different drawings, ideas, and messages about people who are often ignored. I created this because everyone has a story. But sometimes we judge people before we ever ask what they've been through. The hall became silent. Mia continued. Some people smile while they are struggling. Some people stay quiet because they are afraid. And sometimes the person everyone ignores is the person who needs kindness the most. Students started looking at each other. Even Ava, who was sitting in the audience, became quiet. Because for the first time, she wasn't seeing Mia as someone weak. She was seeing her as someone strong. Mia explained every part of her project. The creativity. The meaning. The message. And when she finished, nobody laughed. Nobody whispered. The judges looked impressed. One judge leaned forward. This is one of the most thoughtful projects we have seen today. Another judge nodded. You didn't just create something beautiful. You created something meaningful. Mia smiled. She couldn't believe it. The same girl who had been ignored for weeks was now standing in front of everyone being celebrated. Then came the final announcement. The winners were about to be revealed. The entire hall waited. Third place. Second place. Then. First place goes to. Mia held her breath. Mia Thompson. For a second, she didn't move. She looked around like she wasn't sure they were talking about her. Then the crowd started clapping. Noah stood up immediately, smiling. Mia walked onto the stage. The applause grew louder. But the biggest reaction came from the people who had laughed at her. Because now they finally understood. They had spent so much time judging someone they never tried to know. After the ceremony, students approached Mia. Some congratulated her. Some apologized. "I'm sorry for what I said," one student admitted. "I didn't know you were this talented." Mia smiled politely. "I wish you had tried to know me before judging me." The student lowered her head. "You're right." But one person still hadn't spoken. Ava. She stood across the hall, watching Mia. And for the first time, Ava didn't look powerful. She looked ashamed. Because she knew she had to face the person she had tried so hard to bring down. And the conversation between them would change everything. Ava stood there for a long moment, watching Mia talk with other students. She wanted to walk away. She wanted to pretend nothing happened. That was what she always did. Whenever she hurt someone, she acted like it didn't matter. But this time was different. Because Mia wasn't angry. She wasn't trying to embarrass her. She was just standing there being herself. And somehow, that made Ava feel worse. Finally, Ava walked toward her. "Mia." Mia turned around. The smile on her face faded slightly when she saw who it was. "Yes." Ava looked uncomfortable. For the first time, she didn't know what to say. "I wanted to say congratulations." "Thank you." Ava looked down. "Anne." "I'm sorry." The words surprised everyone around them. Mia stayed quiet. Ava continued. "I treated you badly when you came here. I judged you before I knew anything about you." Mia looked at her. "Why did you do it?" Ava took a deep breath. "Because I thought if people liked you, they would stop noticing me." Mia was surprised. Ava looked away. "Everyone thinks I'm confident. They think I have everything together. But honestly, I was scared." "Scared of what?" Mia asked. "That someone else could be better than me." For the first time, Mia saw something different in Ava. Not the popular girl everyone admired. Just another person who had problems too. Mia nodded slowly. "I understand being afraid. But hurting other people doesn't make you feel better." Ava nodded. "You're right. The conversation wasn't magical. It didn't erase everything that happened. But it was the first honest conversation they had ever had. And sometimes, that was where change started." Over the next few weeks, things at Westbridge High began to change. People started treating Mia differently. But the biggest change was inside Mia herself. She no longer walked through the hallway looking down. She no longer worried about what people thought. She finally understood something important. Her worth was never decided by the opinions of others. One day, Noah found Mia working on a new project. "What are you making this time?" he asked. Mia smiled. "Something for the students." "What kind of something?" "A kindness board." Noah looked curious. Mia explained that she wanted students to share positive messages, encourage each other, and make the school a place where nobody felt invisible. "That's actually a great idea," Noah said. Mia smiled. "I just know what it feels like to feel alone." And that was the thing that made her different. She didn't use her experience to become bitter. She used it to become kinder. Months later, Mia walked through the same hallway where she once dropped her books while everyone laughed. But this time, things were different. Students smiled at her. People greeted her. The same hallway that once made her feel invisible became the place where she finally felt seen. Ava also changed. She wasn't perfect. She still made mistakes. But she started choosing kindness instead of popularity. She even helped Mia with the kindness project. One afternoon, Ava looked at Mia and said, "Do you ever think about how different things would be if I had just talked to you on your first day?" Mia smiled. "Maybe things would have been easier." Ava nodded. "I'm sorry I made them harder." Mia looked at her. Just make sure you don't do it to someone else. Ava smiled. I won't. Because sometimes the people who hurt others are also people who need to learn. And sometimes the quietest person in the room has the strongest story. Mia arrived at Westbridge High as the girl nobody noticed. The girl people laughed at. The girl everyone misunderstood. But she left her mark by showing everyone something they forgot. A person's value is not measured by their clothes, their popularity, or what people say about them. Everyone has a story. Everyone has struggles nobody sees. And one kind action can change someone's entire life. So before judging someone, take a moment to understand them. Because the person you ignore today could be the person who inspires you tomorrow. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories, and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever seen someone being judged unfairly? Tell us your story below. And remember, kindness costs nothing, but it can mean everything.